Hello, guys. Welcome back to another exciting episode on the show, Control or Be Controlled, podcast designed to help you start thinking differently and take control of your life. And I remain your host, Darlington. Today's guest believes that one of the most valuable career resources most people already have is one they are barely using, the alumni network. Jennifer is an alumni engagement and non-profit consultant with nearly 20 years of experience helping colleges, universities, schools, and non-profits build thriving communities that create meaningful connections and lasting impact. Having held senior leadership roles at Cornell University and Lehigh University, she now helps both organizations and individuals unlock the full value of alumni relationships. She's also the author of two mini books, one for alumni engagement professionals and another for alumni who want to maximize the return on investment they have made in their education and experience. Jennifer, welcome to Control or Be Controlled.
Thank you.
All right, Jennifer. So your full name is Jennifer Cullinam, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed that wonderful introduction.
Yes, it was very accurate and right on the money. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm so glad that you did. So I have some questions here for you, and I would like us to get into them. So my audience as well, they would like to get answers to these questions. So Jennifer, many people hear the term alumni network, and immediately they think of college. I myself, I think of college. What exactly is alumni network, and does it extend beyond schools? Because to my own knowledge, there are those people who probably they just finished college, those who left college, right? Is there something different?
Yes, traditionally people think about alumni in the context of university and maybe high school or elementary school, independent schools. However, alumni refers to a group of people that went through an experience together and it changed their lives in some way. And so I've been talking with clients who have camps, for example, summer camps, who go to an elementary private school, who served on a nonprofit board of directors, or who were clients or customers of a nonprofit. And so it's really any group of people who had an experience and want to continue the benefits of that experience, whether that's for social reasons, for professional reasons, for nostalgia, for whatever type of community they want to build.
Okay, Jennifer. So why do so many graduates lose touch with their alumni communities? And what opportunities are they missing? Personally, for me, I don't think I am in touch with my alumni communities.
Well, a lot of people, it's just life that they leave the institution or the corporation or camp or whatever they were involved in, and they go on with their lives. And in some cases, that's their choice. They're just busy and don't bother to find out if there are opportunities to stay engaged. In some cases, it is the organization that doesn't have the staff resources or doesn't know the value of keeping people engaged. And so it can be a number of reasons. But I encourage people that if you had an experience at a college or a school or a camp or a corporation, find out if the institution or the organization offers any support to alumni and get involved.
Okay, thank you so much, Jennifer. So, what do you think are the barriers that maybe, okay, the barriers to why most people are not interested in the alumni, some maybe emotional or physical barriers. Is it that they didn't have enough connection in school while they were in school?
Mhm. That could be it. Perhaps they did not have an amazing experience while they were there, or they moved away and they figured that there was nothing for them digitally. But what is interesting is that even people who did not have an amazing experience while they were on campus or in the organization can find benefits afterwards. So let's just take a college or university. You pay your tuition, and here in the United States, at least, that's a lot of money for the most part. You invest a lot in that education. And it's a mistake to say, well, I paid for my 4 years, they gave me a degree, and now we are done. You actually can reap the benefits of that investment for the rest of your life by tapping into this alumni network. The alumni networks they can be social. You can meet new people who went to that school. They can be professional. You can network with people who went to that school. They can be, if you volunteer, you can learn leadership skills. A lot of schools have continuing education for their alumni. So it's really smart to stay involved with your alma mater, as we call them, your school after you graduate, because those tuition dollars can be amortized over decades if you choose to engage.
All right. Thank you so much. So, if someone is looking for a new job or changing careers and they have not been in contact with their alumni, how can they get in contact? And how can an alumni network become one of their greatest advantages?
Yeah. So it is okay to reengage even if you haven't for a long time. You've been out for 20 years. It's still okay to engage. It's not like a friendship where you haven't called somebody in 20 years and all of a sudden you show up and you're looking for a network or a job. This is, a business transaction in a lot of ways. So the first step is to check your school or your camp or your corporation's website and search for alumni. At least here in the United States, Canada, and several other countries, they have a staff member who coordinates the alumni networks and plans events and runs technologies that allow you to connect with people digitally, sort of like a LinkedIn, but it's just for people that went to your school. They allow you to mentor students, speak in classes, organize events around the world, get in touch with faculty and professors. So it's my first piece of advice would be to look at the website and search for alumni. If there is no alumni, sometimes schools focus on fundraising or development. And so even if you search like ways to give or donate, you might come up with a name of somebody whose primary job is fundraising. But don't be nervous about that. You can still reach out and say, hey, I would love to get involved. Are there alumni networks here? Because a lot of times the fundraising and alumni functions, again, at least here in the United States and other countries, a lot of the times those functions are in the same office and work together.
You know that networking makes a lot of people very, very uncomfortable. Personally, for me, I don't think I can go back to my alumni network and just network with them easily. So how do we build genuine relationship without feeling like we are just collecting business cards or we are just begging for help?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a whole podcast we could do just about how to network. And really, the secret to it is to do it before you need it. So when you have a job, when you are upwardly mobile in your company, when you are successful at something, go to networking events and start offering to help people or give advice or, even if you don't have the job you want, be helpful to other people first. And, you have to work at it. It's not like you can just pop into a networking event one time, hand out your business cards and then leave. That is very uncomfortable and nobody appreciates that on the other side. But if you become somebody that people get advice from and view as someone who's willing to help, they will also be helpful to you. And it's not so much, I need a job, here's my resume. That is a big turnoff to a lot of people. It's more, if you are looking for a job, I see that you are whatever, an accountant. I've been thinking about trying to get a job in an accounting firm. Would you mind if I, called you for 15 minutes and just asked you some questions? And then when you call them, you ask them very pointed questions about what it's like to be in that profession, how they got there, and no mention of, well, can you get me a job? Because although that's direct, it's not, if somebody asks you for advice, you want to feel like they're really asking you and you're starting to build a relationship. You don't want to feel like they're just using you to get a job. So, go to networking events and just be yourself and talk to the people who are in the same field you want to get into. Offer help before you ask for help. And that word networking actually becomes something to look forward to.
From the organization's perspective, why do schools, non-profits, and even companies invest so much in building alumni networks?
Well, from their standpoint, they are in it for a few reasons, and they do vary. So from a university standpoint, their brand image is very important. And especially here in the United States, where you went to school is a big part of your identity. People wear sweatshirts with the school's name on it. They wear hats. They cheer for the athletic teams. They talk about it. They are, it's on their resumes prominently. And so the brand image of a school gets out into the public because of their alumni. So, for example, the school that I went to has 300,000 alumni around the world. And we want to keep attracting people from around the world. And so there's, anywhere in the world you go, you can meet someone from that school. And so part of it is keeping the brand image alive. Part of it, as I mentioned, some of them are tied into the fundraising operations. So, here we, especially private schools, get a lot of our funding, both from tuition dollars and from individual donors. And so when people get engaged with the school for all the things we've already talked about, it's just natural that you would feel philanthropic towards your school. And so it's very natural to give money in addition to engaging with the school. And so that's part of it. The other part of it is here, the idea of student success. So a student goes to school for 4 or 5 or 2, whatever years, and then gets out of school and gets a job. That is a marker of how good the college is. And so having an alumni network where students can apply and get jobs through the alumni is a very good metric for schools. So if you have a strong alumni network and you have activated them to look at the resumes from their own school more closely, then that's good for the school's metrics. So those are 3 reasons. Also speaking in classes and advising professors. So a lot of schools, let's take a business school, for example, for the professors to stay engaged with alumni who are working at, let's say finance companies. It's good for them to know what's happening in the industries in real time. So those are just 4 of the ways that alumni can stay involved and why they benefit a college and why schools resource those positions to keep alumni engaged.
Okay, thank you so much, Jennifer. So I really hope I can find a way to be part of my alumni. Honestly, this conversation is awakening something in me. Maybe there are a lot of I could gain from that, and I don't know yet. So you have spent nearly 2 decades helping people create engaged communities. What separates thriving alumni networks from those that slowly fade away?
It's really, I think, a strong staff member who knows how to bring people together. And our network of alumni relations professionals is very strong and very collaborative because we don't compete. So if you graduated from a school, you're in that alumni network. I can't, if I'm from another school, even the rival school, you're still an alum of that school. So there's not a lot of competition in the quote industry of alumni relations. So there are so many people in the profession that are sharing best practices and really smart people in the profession. So I think it's having a really smart staff member, but then also they activate volunteers, because if you are 1 or 2 staff members and you have 100,000 alumni or even 10,000 alumni, you can't meet all those people. You can't do everything yourself. So, and knowing how to activate and manage volunteers and keep them motivated and inspired to help you gather people and, do all the things we've talked about. I think those are 2 of the really successful. That's when an institution has a successful network.
Okay, so outside jobs, what else can I benefit from connecting with my alumni network?
Well, you've probably read in the news that loneliness is a big issue around the world, that people are becoming more insulated with their, smartphones and devices, and we're just not as social as we used to be. And a lot of alumni networks put on social events. And so it's an easy way to plug into a community that you already belong to. And so if you can attend an event, even if it's virtual, it's a great benefit to your mental health to plug into these networks. I know people, and I've had this experience where I volunteer for my alma mater, and I meet people from all years, younger alumni, older alumni, other people that have become my friends that I didn't know in college, but now I consider friends. And it can be really helpful to have that community. The other thing, as I mentioned, it is jobs, but it's also just professionally. There's a lot you can learn from each other, and the alumni network, there's people from all kinds of professions that you can just learn from. And so, it's just a group of people that is well educated, that has had a similar experience to you. And so I highly recommend it.
Okay, thank you so much, Jennifer. So here's my final question for you. For someone listening who hasn't spoken to anyone from their school, I'm talking about myself right now, or organization in years, what's one simple step they can they can take this week or right now to reconnect? I'm a very, very shy person. I'm so shy. Like I'm very, very shy.
That's okay. I would go to your school's website and look for the word alumni. And if they don't have anything there, they might have generally like info at the school. and just send them an email and say, hey, do you do anything with alumni networks? Is there anything in my area that I can, an event I can go to or an online community I can join? You can also look on LinkedIn, Facebook, all the social networks, which might be easier for people who are kind of shy because then you don't have to put yourself out there at a social event just yet. But if you can meet people, through the social media and then maybe meet them in real life, that could be a great step. And also volunteering for your alma mater because, going to a social event, you walk into a room of, 50 people you've never met. That's intimidating even I'm an extrovert. That's intimidating even for me. But if you volunteer, you have a purpose. So you're there to do whatever the thing is. It's not such pressure to go and be social. It's, hey, we're all here to do a thing. Let's do the thing together. And then you make friends that way or associates. And so those are the things I would do.
Okay, thank you so much. It'd be easier to build an online connection than a physical one, but I will look into that.
It's a good start for sure.
Okay, so thank you for showing us that networking isn't about collecting contacts. It's about building relationships that create opportunities, support, and community throughout our lives. So for those that would like to learn more about you and your consulting work and your book.
Yeah. So my website is engagejc.com. That's engagejc.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn. Just search for Jennifer Cunningham alumni and I come up.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you all for listening to Control or Be Controlled. If you enjoyed today's conversation, subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who's looking to grow their career, expand their network, or reconnect with a community they may have forgotten. Thank you all so much, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye, guys. Thank you, Jennifer.
Bye-bye.